with that simple shift, we doubled income within about 6 months
Wow.
and halved the amount of hours that we're teaching and tripled the number of people that we were working with. So,
Can you say that again? Just reiterate that. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
right? So it was.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Christopher No with Pranic Physician, and today we'll be talking with Paula Lord, a good friend. So, Paula Lord, would you mind just telling us a little about yourself?
Absolutely. I'm here inside my Pilates studio in Fishers, Indiana. I own a business called GymRoots. And what I do is teach people how to function in their bodies better. Actually, authored a book called Perfect 10 Posture. So we help people with their posture, but not their static posture, their dynamic posture, which is basically how you move around in the world. And I come from a background of dance and gymnastics, and have a background actually also in physics. So the biomechanical work of the body is really what we're all about here.
Oh, that's amazing. That is a really diverse background. So with that background, I'm just going to be asking you a few questions with how you enjoyed the program you took and how that really helped your business, as well as helps learn some things about yourself, I think. So here's the first question. Okay. And this is, before you joined the program, what was the big problem you were looking to solve?
Well, I would call myself a person who started a business, but only because I had a little trouble working for other people. I had a lot of ideas about how I thought I needed to be sharing with the world, and things that I wanted to teach people. And that wasn't happening for me under someone else's umbrella, either in a gymnastics school or in the Pilates studios I taught in. And I was literally just kind of pushed into, well, let's just open our own thing. In my head, I never thought of it as a business. So that problem was that I really didn't know there was this thing about making money with a business. I didn't know it had anything to do with it. So therefore, I was in a position of like, oh gosh, I have all these expenses because I needed to do my own thing, and it wasn't going to be sustainable for very much longer.
So you started this thing so it sounds like you started this thing to really share with the world and how you can contribute, but it also sounds like you did not realize that to create this entity and this mission for yourself, it also had to be looked at as a business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And at that time, I was coming from a place where I didn't have to make money. I could do this as a hobby, and it was something that I could just do because I had the skills to organize, and I definitely had the skills to teach people and to help people. At the time when it began, I was in a position where I didn't need to know about business. And then as time went on, as we met, I became in a position where I was like, oh, this actually does need to be an actual business with the whole financial component in place.
Okay. So not realizing that you had the financial component then, and trying to run a business that you didn't realize was a business, how was that really affecting your life overall, with the realization that, oh, I need to run a business, but you didn't know how, kind of thing. So how was that affecting your life overall without that realization that the two needed to be connected?
Yeah, it was very interesting. There was certainly a ton of anxiety. Every interaction I had with people, everything I did was anxious because, in order to be in this world, we have to have money. All of a sudden, I was paying my own bills, and every time I go to the grocery store, I was worried about how much money was in the account. Anytime someone came in to be a client, I was hyper focused on, oh gosh, how long can I keep them? How much money is this bringing in? I better keep them for a long time. So the anxiety level in every aspect of my life was very, very high.
Wow. Okay. So in that case, then, what do you think your life would have looked like in 12 months from now if you hadn't decided enough is enough? I need to fix this situation.
Well, it's funny you ask that because it was a question I was hesitating to ask myself, but it would come up every once in a while because it was definitely, I was in a non-sustainable position. And so my options at that point had become, well, I can just go be a checkout girl at Target. So I knew that there were options for me, that survival was not a problem, and that there was always going to be some job that I could do, but it would have meant giving up the mission and the purpose that I've been driven by for most of my life. So it was not pretty at the moment.
A checkout girl at Target, did you say?
I did.
Oh my gosh. That's quite a change from starting to run the business you didn't realize you're running to these are my other options.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then we talked, we met. I gave you some proposals, some options to consider. But working with any new business or product, especially in the position you're in, that always comes with a certain amount of risk because you have to put your faith in something or someone in this case, right? So what sort of apprehensions did you have about joining the program before you decided to take the plunge?
Well, one of the main apprehensions was kind of went back to I was deceived by a lot of people. That's what I felt like in my life. There were some things where I made a choice and I thought I was getting into something, and then it became something completely different. So my question was, all right, is Chris just another one of these master manipulators who's trying to get my money? And will anything actually come out of it? So it was pretty big, pretty
Oh,
big
wow.
apprehension. Yeah,
Well, I didn't know that, but thanks for sharing.
that's all right.
Okay. So you did have some apprehensions, but
Yeah.
what made you decide to finally take the plunge, I guess?
Well, going along with, because we knew each other a little bit beforehand, and I had gained some confidence and clarity in my own abilities and what I was doing. One of the challenges for me is that what I'm actually doing and what I'm actually offering as products and services is something that really doesn't exist very much out there in the world. It's something brand new. So again, I got to start to realize that it wasn't that people couldn't understand they couldn't understand what I was doing, but I was learning that that didn't mean it was invaluable. That didn't mean it was not worthy. Because I did believe when they said that's weird, it doesn't work, I can't understand you. It just was a way for me to realize that I do have something to offer, and that if I could communicate it differently, that then people would start to understand. So I had gained some clarity and some confidence from our working together in other ways that positive changes were available. So that was really what got me to make the plunge was the small steps that we had made before that had nothing to do with business.
Okay. Well, great. Before you jumped in then, did you have any apprehensions of your own ability or the time it would take to actually get results with, an investment in the program such as this?
Absolutely. So, at first it was once I got to the point where I realized I do have something that people need and that people can definitely benefit from, then it was, okay, well, if I have that, gosh, maybe I can figure out this business thing. Maybe at least I can figure out the money part. I wasn't so sure that I could figure out how to run an actual business and to grow it and expand it. So I did have apprehensions about my abilities to be a business owner and what that might entail, mostly because I had no idea what it took to run a business.
Oh,
So it was kind of that fear of the unknown is like, well, do you have to have, 100 employees? What does it mean before you are actually running a business? So a lot of the components that I didn't know existed. And that was my leap of faith was like, well, you've shown me things that I didn't know about before. So let's see what else there is.
and I think that you just shared the sentiment that a lot of us have that are, like servers and givers and just want to help the world, and just do healing for a lot of people. We go into that with the knowledge that we have this mission. We know we want to help people. Everything will fall into place. Everything should fall into place. And then that doesn't always happen until we make some changes about our knowledge regarding business and other things like that. So,
Yes, I can certainly say that in my mind, business was something that I had no part in. Like business was something that other people played at. And there was a lot of money and a lot of manipulation involved with that. So I just kept it separate. And I had no idea that, oh, there's this whole spectrum of what business is and how business is run.
so with that, what was the, just if you could just share, what was the one big reason you decided it was worth giving this program a shot?
It was because it was the last hope, right? This was the last thing I was going to try in order to be able to move forward with the mission that I had. Again, it's something I've been on since I was a little girl. Something I've always done is try to help people move better and to have positive outlooks. And recognizing the importance of that, I felt like it was worth it to myself to give this a shot and see what I could learn.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's really a big leap of faith then from that. But it sounded like your mission was bigger than the apprehensions.
Somehow that happened.
Well, there you go. So if there's really one thing you want to achieve by going through this challenge, what was it? I think you said some of it now, but if you mind reiterating.
Yeah, well, I wanted to achieve having this business that would in itself me to continue doing what I was called to do, and to serve people and to literally take charge and be in charge of my own money, to be able to have a relationship with money that wasn't so apprehensive. That was really the biggest part of it. I wanted to be able to sustain myself and not rely on anybody or anything else.
Okay. Yeah. And that isn't it amazing how like that relationship with, sometimes we don't like to use the word money, but even just if we call it resources, having that relationship with those extra resources, how much it changes your outlook on life and your experience with how you interact with people, really.
Oh, it's been incredible. Beyond the money part, it was, the program gave me this idea that, oh gosh, I've had resources all along. I didn't realize how many resources I had, and I discounted those because I thought money was the only thing. And I had such anxiety around money. I think I've told you the story that, I was a physics major and a math minor, but if you put a dollar sign in front of a number, I couldn't add 2 + 2, like literally couldn't do it. So that was always something that I was aware of in myself, but I didn't understand it.
Are you the one that said you actually physically felt sick whenever you looked at things with dollar signs in front of them?
No, I never felt sick.
Okay.
I wouldn't allow myself close enough to it to get sick, probably.
Oh, there you go. Anyway, there's such a visceral reaction though, it sounds like. So that being a physics, like you said, a physics and math major and minor respectively, when you add just a small symbol like a dollar sign, that's amazing that had that impact on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was then the experience of doing the program and working with me?
It was so surprising. Very, very surprising with the things that came up and the things that shifted. So like you said, that visceral reaction, and in running a business, every year you have to go to the accountant, you have to do your taxes, you have to, they say, well, here, give us your P&L. I'm like, I don't even know what a P&L is. What are you talking about? And to do that process every year was the worst thing. Like, it was the worst week of my life every single year, because I had to go in and I had to look at numbers and I had to talk to somebody about money. So the process of getting to the point where I could say, yes, this month I want to make X amount of dollars was huge. It was huge. It was surprising. It was challenging. Okay. Yeah, the literal visceral throwing up happened throughout that process, as all of these deep-seated energies were released. It was fascinating.
Wow. All right. So with that, then it sounded like a lot came up for you. You had a better understanding of yourself, had a lot of better understanding with your role in serving other people, as well as your role in your business. And a lot of that sounds like it came up through this process and through the program.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, surprising, because it was supposed to be all about money, and all the money worries left by talking about other things and by working on other things. And, what I got out of this was this blueprint of how to continue following this mission of mine for the rest of this lifetime. And me actually being in charge of it, and being in charge of it in a compassionate way, in a great way that is going to help others on so many different levels besides what I even thought it was doing.
Well, that's amazing. That's actually really fascinating that all this was able to, your relationship with certain things improved as you improved other aspects of your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's,
And what I'm doing now is actually helping other people who are getting started on having their own business and doing their own work, which is just simply fascinating to me as well.
that's a huge step. And that's not even it. Like we started, I think, working together with this 2 years ago, right?
I think it's been 2 years now, yes.
You've come so far. I mean, that's amazing. So with that, was there anything I did that exceeded your expectations in any way or that you weren't expecting? Or the
Yeah, I
program
think
itself?
we've, pretty much touched on all of that. What I found that I wasn't expecting was this just simplicity of shifting how I did business. I think within the first 2 months, I was able to change from oh my gosh, here comes the person, and I can only charge them this much because that's what everybody else in town is charging.
Mhm.
And within 2 months, I shifted over completely to a membership based program. And if you didn't want a membership, then you were going to pay premium price for it. And I had no problem with that. And what happened was with that simple shift, we doubled income within about 6 months
Wow.
and halved the amount of hours that we're teaching and tripled the number of people that we were working with. So
Can you say that again? Just reiterate that. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
right. So it was double the income per month.
Uh-huh.
We halved the number of hours that we were working
Uh-huh.
and tripled the number of people we were reaching. So in other words, what happened was we shifted to this membership-based system. I started being able to think about productized services. So what about the person who only wants to pay $10 a month? What can I give them, right? And so we started working on that. And then I started working with the contracting more of private clients. So people who are already coming were so excited that they came more. So they were spending more per month after I raised the prices. And the people who, weren't that committed would sign up for our, more productized, lower priced services.
Uh-huh.
And that's a place where we could handle, 300 people at once within an hour, and they're super satisfied. So it became just, clarity of what people wanted, what they valued.
Wow. And you said that was obtained in how much of a time period?
I'm going to say that was, I want to say it started really like the process started within a couple of months.
Yeah.
And when it really started to be a significant change, I mean, it was within 12 months, but we were at that level.
But that's for you, that's a huge amount of changes because like you used to be a solopreneur, like you just did everything by yourself. And now you're running all these programs and things are going on its own. And I mean, that just sounds amazing.
Yeah. And that's, the next phase of this, is that this has allowed me to continue growing and realizing, oh, well, if I just learn one more thing about business, I can expand by a whole lot. And the newest part of that, like you say, as a solopreneur is, okay, I've got all these resources of people who want to help because they've gone through the program or they've touched the services. They've been so changed and they feel like they have more that they want to give back. So starting to utilize people in that way has been huge, seeing them as resources which are valuable to me and starting to bring people in to assist with the running of the business.
And you're helping them grow. You're helping them fulfill what they feel like is their mission, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And my contribution back to them hasn't ended with them taking classes. I mean, these are people who are coming in consistently because they can't stop taking classes. But now I also have the freedom to go out to learn more ways to help them to grow in other parts of their lives. So it's this constant, it's a scaffolding type of growth. They grow, then I am free to grow a little bit more, and then they can grow some more, and I can continue to keep myself out there and be leading a lot of people through this growth and evolution.
Awesome. Sounds like you're doing good work. Well, then it sounds like we just touched on this, but if you could sum it up quickly, what did the program or what did I help you achieve?
So basically what it achieved was I got to be in charge. Something that I've been like fighting for all along, but I never felt like I was in charge because I let other people have a lot of the power. So the program literally put me into a space where I'm in charge and I'm happy to be there and I'm not afraid of being there. And I feel confident in my ability to be that good leader, that good business owner, really.
That's like, we don't even realize, I think, that we're not in charge sometimes. Like, and when you take care of your business and you have that realization, I can actually make decisions for myself, for my business, the way I treat people, the way I help people. I mean, that's really empowering, I think.
Yeah,
Amazing.
pretty huge.
Okay. So would it be safe to say your life is a little better or easier after working with me inside the program?
Yeah, do we really have to even go there? Yeah, it feels like swimming with the current versus trying to like march upstream in a whatever those class 4 rapids are. That's been the change. Is I realized I was headed in one direction and fighting, and oh, if I just turn around,
Yeah.
then I can ride this wave, and it's much better.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, so is there anything else? Like, how is your life different now? And what does that mean for your personal life and family now overall? I mean, we talked a lot about business, but how about the family or your own personal life, relationship with family members, etc.?
Yeah, well, it's been wonderful to have the freedom to now be able to spend time with my adult daughter and not to worry every time that I want to see her if I can pay for dinners or if I can, afford the trip there. I've also, scheduled vacations just to take a vacation. That was one thing that I always, I mean, for my entire life was a vacation meant, well, I better have an excuse to spend this money. So it better have something to do with working. And so I can't just go and have a good time. And, I've, over the past couple of years, literally just scheduled time away and scheduled vacation and not worried about how much it's going to cost.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
huge.
budgeting, but not worrying.
I mean, that's a huge mindset shift. A lot of people like try to figure out how to exactly budget, and then they stress about like what happens after a vacation, even. And you know, that's the point of a vacation, to just to let go, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I appreciate all that you're sharing. What would you like to say to someone who is still on the fence about joining, or like a program like this, or improving their life, or investing in something that can help their business?
I would just say, if you're still on the fence and you are confident about what you have to offer, if you are confident that what you do works, if you've gotten to that level where you definitely have something to offer, then to spend some time, it's okay to dip your toes in. Like I say, I got to work with you before jumping into a massive program, and to just take advantage of some of those offers that are available. Get to know the person that you're going to be working with, and build some tools of discernment around them. And once you have experimented with them and you feel confident that you're getting results with the small things, then go for that.
And is there anything else you'd like to share on top of all
I
this?
think we've covered so much, and nothing else comes to mind at this moment. So,
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story, sharing like the journey that you've come. I mean, sharing the insights. I didn't even know some of these things. So I think it'll be really helpful for people to see, how much you can grow just from some simple changes, not only in mindset, but in business practices, and just your relationship with resources, and the realization that you can really help more people once you have those things.
yeah, I just have a big thank you to Chris for taking me through this and taking a chance on me, actually.
Well, no problem. I saw that you meant a lot in the world, that you had good intentions, and so that's why I thought you would be a good fit for that program in particular, and just all the nurturing needed to help you achieve your goals. So, well, I appreciate you speaking. Once again, that was Paula Lord. If you would like, where can people find you
They can find me at gymrootsinc.org. I don't know if it's backwards on the screen there, but gymrootsinc.com. Sorry, not .org. That's the website, and that'll get you connected with us in the manner that you need to be connected.
All right. So once again, it's Paula Lord with GymRootsInc.com. And this is, once again, Christopher No with Pranic Physician. And in this particular session, we continue to discuss about business and just finding ways we can help the world, contribute to the world, and help it grow. All right. Thank you.